Hello everyone, welcome. This is Ruth with Ruthfulplanning, and today I have my monthly video for my reading recap using my Kellofaplan planner, and this is an ongoing collab with Jess, where we talk about the books that we read through the month and also we plan. So let's start. Okay, so the month of May was the best month I have ever had in my life. Let's just ignore, as always, that page because I give up with that page. Let's start with the book, the book of the month. My book of the month was Sunrise on the Reaping. It's the newest book from the Hunger Games franchise, and OMG, this book was so good. So many Easter eggs. It was fantastic. I cried. The message was so palpable and so, I don't even know how to express it. Like you could feel it. Like, oh my God. I don't want to talk about like politics or anything, but this is, I think, one of the best books to read during this time. It was 387 pages. I rated it a 5-star. Goodreads rated as a 458 star. So very, very good book so far. And I think it's rated also really high because it's a Hunger Games book. But it's not only this, I think we all needed this story, and it's fantastic. Okay, let's go to, I want to show you my tracker from Freedom McFadden this time. And I am almost done reading all her books, which is exciting. So I only need to read Suicide Med, that seems weird, The Psyche, and The Housemaid's Wedding, that is like a short novella, and then she has a new one coming up that I will write here. But pretty much I am almost done with this list, and I couldn't be more happy. And I'm seeing here I have a few books as a 5-star. Most of them are either 4 or 3 stars, and I have like a 2-star sprinkle in there, but very, very, very good. Okay, let's go to, I haven't updated this, but I'm like over 100, so we're not gonna go there. Let's go directly to May. And on May, and everybody decides right now that they are gonna move their car or anything, but we're gonna go through this noise. We're not gonna care about it. So for the month of May, I read 21 books. Yeah, I don't know what possessed me, but 21 books, people, 21. When I counted how many books I read through the month between audiobooks, ebooks, and regular books, I couldn't believe it. Like, I've never have read so much in a month. So for me, this was super exciting. I decided to use this washi tape from Simply Gilded that it was given to us during Go Wild last year on Dallas. So I used them and I really like it because it gives it like a nice vibe. I even like decided to make these for like, what is it called in the books? Okay. And this month, I don't know why I didn't use the reading tracker, but I put my goals. So I read 12 to 13 books. Yeah, I did. Goal is to reach 80 books. Yeah, I passed that. I didn't read one Asian and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. So I put a couple goals that they will be for the challenges that Goodreads gives you for the month of May through June, through the end of June. So these goals are kind of repeated on the next month if I didn't achieve them. I didn't read an arc. I updated my crochet genre snake, which was amazing. And I did a body read. I did a body read for Sunrise on the Reaping with one of my friends. Her name is Jess from Sailor Red Plants. You can follow her. I will put her link here. She is a sailor. sailor it, and she sells, you know, around the world. Right now she is at Fiji, so it's very interesting. So we had like a full conversation about the book, like a discussion about like everything. It was like amazing. I think we talked like for 3 hours. 3 hours weren't completely of the book, but you know, my husband decided to chime in and we talk about life at sea. But then besides that, it was all about the book and it was fantastic. So let's go to my monthly page. I use stickers from RONG. This is Enchanté sticker book, and I decided to do something different with this one. I usually don't use boxes to put when did I start and when did I finish a book. I just write it down, but I did it on this, and then I put like, seriously, what's all this noise? And then I put like the asterisks were the stars, so I did all that stuff for the books over there. And I love it. I love how it looks. It looks so full, and this is one of my favorite planners, I have to say. Like, that series, they decided that today was the day of let's just make noise. I don't even know what's happening right now. So I had to pause the video because the noise was over like the top. Like, you can still hear the truck. So it was the garbage pickup truck, and they were full blasting music. Appreciate I had good taste. But I was trying to record a video and they could see me from my window, so I was looking at them and I was like, dude, I'm trying to record a video, can you please leave? Okay, that was it for that. Let's go to the next thing. So these are my weeks, as always, planning. I use my dates that you can find it on my Etsy shop, and I use also my book ratings. So let me show you really quick. I don't really like to make publicity of my own Etsy shop. I should, I know, but I don't. So I use, let me just get a new one because it's almost done. Look, so this is my book rating, and I take it out and I just put it on each one of the books that I read. So if you see, I put it there and then I just rate it, so I know through the month what am I reading. Also, I try to put, when I do an audiobook, I try to put this little icon. If I do an audiobook and if I do an e-read, I'll try to put this icon. I've done a couple of spicy books that deserve the spicy book, spicy rating, so I do that. And then I have numbers that I have been using for my books, numbering my books, and I'll show you that later. How am I using this one? And then I have these ones that I just made that they are book club. So every time I have a book club now, I'm gonna use these ones, these little ones. So pretty much this is what it is for this month, for this week, these 2 weeks. I use Kellofaplan stickers. These are her bookish sticker books. These are also Kellofaplan. This is something different that has nothing to do with books, and it is RONG, and it's Breakfast at Tiffany's. I just love the contrast between one and the other one, but it looks so good. I love it. And then this was an empty one because the month ended here, so yeah. And these are all the books that I read. I didn't even have space because you only have space for 20, so I had to add an extra space here at the bottom. I have a couple of, I think I had one 2-star book, Change of Heart. Oh, that was a horrible book. Okay, and as always, like when I do titles for that, for the reviews, I try to also to put the books names, and then I cut them and I just put them in this last page that is like a kind of like a currently page, and I like how it looks. Let me show you really quick what I have for June. For June, I designed this page that if you go to my Instagram, you will be able to see it today. It is my summer hopefuls. So these are Little Posh, her bookish sticker book that she released last year. And then these ones, the hexagon boxes that are my, that I love and adore, are Kellofaplan. and then my rating stickers that I put in there. And I have Atmosphere, a love story by Taylor Jenkins Reid. We're doing it in August as part of our book club with Knit Plan Jess. So that's gonna be check at August. Then we have The Ghost Rider by Julie Clark, Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by B.E. Schwab. I read one by B.E. Schwab. It is the oh my god, Addie LaRue. I don't remember the whole title. I will put it here so you guys can see it out. Forget Me Not, Stacey Willingham. I read one of her books too also. You can check it out, the book here. The Poppy Fields by Nikki Ehrlich. She is having this book release on the 17th, and she's gonna be in my local Barnes and Nobles, so I want to go, but I had to make a doctor's appointment for my daughter, and it happens to be that that's the only day that she can have it. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to go, and I'm crying now. The Bewitching by Silvia Moreno Garcia. I read so many of her books and they're amazing. If you wanna read about Latin American gothic stories, she's a must-have. She's amazing. And then we have Problematic Summer Romance by Ali Hazelwood. I have to be honest, I tried to do this one already on Libby and as an audiobook, and I couldn't stand the male narrator. His voice was it was horrible. He was trying to be very masculine, but he sounded stupid. And I couldn't I couldn't understand the story. I think this is a book that you have to read it physically in order to enjoy it. And also first you have to read Not in Love first, because this is a sequel for Not in Love. So I'm gonna read Not in Love this month, and then I will go and read this one next month, Problematic Summer Romance, and it's gonna be a buddy reads with Jess too as well. So that's what we have for my summer hopefuls. And then I have my summer reads. I haven't updated this. What's wrong with me? Let's update it together. Let's take out my dot marker and let's just put it. I think I read every day, right? Let's just check it out really quick. If I read every day, I didn't read the 8th, so that's the only day I didn't read. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So we're here. So we're good to go now. The Castaways was the last book I think I finished. No, I'm kidding. I just finished another book and I'm gonna write it up here. It's called Caught Up. And I will let you know about all these books and how do I feel about them next month, so you see. But this is what it is for this month. I use PLANIT.DARBI stickers, and I love how it looks. I usually don't decorate this with stickers, but I decided to do it this month, and it looks fabulous. I love it. And we're not gonna plan today because I'm gonna show you what am I doing with this planner this month, so you have an idea. This month I decided to change completely everything. So what I'm doing is I only put in boxes activities that I'm gonna do. Most of my activities, to be honest, are on this side of the page, but I felt that I needed to put stuff here because it left unbalanced, and I can deal with unbalanced spreads. By the way, this is all PLANIT.DARBI, the stickers, except the boxes and the dots, those are Kellofaplan. And this is inspired on the Torture Department. It's called the Torture Planners Department. These sticker sheets, and I love them. They're so cute. Look at them. They're so beautiful. And what I did in this, what I'm doing in this one this month is I'm putting a dot every time I start or finish a book. So S is for start, F is for finish. So far I have it like that. And I really like it. I really like how it's going, the vibe. It's all dark vibe. And it's weird for June, but I love how it looks overall. It's like a really nice vibe. And what I'm doing these weeks is I'm trying to decorate with, I'm trying to do like the same thing in both sides. So let's see how it goes. So this week is all flowers. So all flowers, it was like last week too also. So I did purple and now I did blue. And then I think next week I'm gonna do a very summery stuff. Okay, let's go to what I read. And this is where those numbers go in play, because I needed to do that in order to know how many books I was reading and in order to help me with my snake, because it was very torture not to know how many I was doing it, because I have to count how many stripes I've done it in order to know where I am. And then I didn't know how many books I was reading. And then Goodreads, for some reason, it's sync with Kindle. And there were some books that it says that I haven't finished, but I had, and it wasn't even for this year. So I was completing them. And my OCD tells me that I need to complete them because I cannot leave it uncompleted because I read them. So when I did that, it synced, and it seemed like I have read books already that I haven't read this year. So it was nice to have these numbers, because then I had like, what number I am right now. I am in number, well, that I put here. I was in number 94 at that point, and it said that I had read over 100 books, and I was like, wait a minute, I haven't read over 100 books. This is not working out. Like, and I went through this and I was able to find the mistakes. Anywho, extra conversation that apparently I needed to have with you guys. So I also use my month labels. So now I know when the months start and when the month finish. Like April starts there and then it ends here. So I know, like, I have it more organized. Little by little, I'm organizing myself even better on this planner, and I love it, because I want to know where my month starts and my month ends. So my month starts with a really good, actually. I've been trying to read this book since it was released. And for some reason, the first time that I tried, this is a second time try, it didn't click. And this time, it took me a little bit to just get into it, but I got into it. And oh my God, when I tell you, so this story is about this girl that breaks up with this guy, and she's freaking obsessed with him, like obsessed, to the point that she will even write him like an email every day saying, hi, oh my God, I didn't send you this that it says through my iPhone. I want you to know that I was like thinking about you, or what do you think about this? Oh my God, forget about this, like stuff like that. And the guy wouldn't even answer at one point because he wanted closure. And the book is about that, how her life doesn't go accordingly, and she has like a rough patches during like a whole year, but it's because she's doing it to herself. She's her worst enemy. It's a good book. Not my favorite. I think I would have enjoyed more as a regular book and not an audiobook. So yeah, there's that. The Measure, that's by Nikki Ehrlich, and that's the author of the Puppy. My God, I keep thinking that is the Puppy Wars, but I just want to get sure that I'm saying it correctly. The Puppy Fields, the Puppy Wars is by another author. I keep mixing both. So this is a book about everyone receives a string out of nowhere in a box, and the strings are short or big, and it represents how long you will live. So the ones with long strings start kind of like pushing the ones with short strings, because the short string people, it's kind of like a parallel of what happened with people with wanted to get vaccinated and not vaccinated during COVID, and people that had COVID and didn't have COVID. You know, the people that they wanted to wear a mask and didn't, and then people that didn't wear a mask, they had these beliefs and everything, and things were happening, and then they didn't get vaccinated too also, and the people that got vaccinated also got against them. So it was like it's kind of like the same concept, and I think she based herself on that. At least that's what it seems like it. It was a really good book. I enjoy it because it overlaps a lot of stories. It comes with different points of views, and I love the stories because at the end, all of these different stories from different characters with long strings and short strings, they get together, and there's specifically one story of a guy that he knows that it's a short string, and he falls in love with this girl that didn't want to open her box, and it's a long, she thinks she's a long string, but she doesn't know, and she starts judging him for that and doesn't want to fall in love with him because what about if he dies, and then why she's gonna compromise all these feelings and all this time for somebody that has his life shortened. So it's a lot to think about it on this book. It makes you reflect. What would you do in this case if you know that a person that, would you give it a chance to this person, or would you just let it pass? Because it could be the love of your life. It doesn't matter if it's like for a year or 2 years, you know, but maybe that's the love that you needed. And yeah, I'm not gonna say anymore, but it's a really good book. I can't wait to check the Poppy Fields and read it. I really want that book. Then we had Frida McFadden, my first Frida McFadden of the month, and it's The Tenant. It's her newest book, and I have to say, in my honest review of Frida McFadden books, and I have read them almost all, the ones at the beginning, I have felt that they are much better than the ones towards like 2023, 2024. The concepts kind of repeated themselves. Like you have an idea of what was going to have, or it was like the same kind of like bang thing. So The Tenant was an unexpected book, and I didn't expect, again, redundant, but I didn't expect it to what happens. I loved the book so much. It kept me, so it was one of those books that it makes you uncomfortable, but a good uncomfortable that you want to keep reading it. Amazing. How to Read a Book was my book club here in town of the month. My sister-in-law picked this one. Oh my god, if you can have like a warm blanket, a teddy bear, and a cup of something warm, a chocolate, you know, and put it all together with a fireplace, that's how this book will feel. It's such an amazing book. It's about this girl that is in jail, and when he's in jail, she meets this lady that she is running a book club. The girl gets out of jail, and then she goes to the library, no, to a bookstore, I'm sorry, to get a book. And she's a cat, and she wanted to adopt a cat because it happens that they have like cat for adoption in the place. And she sees the man, the wife's, so she killed the wife of this man that she sees in the bookstore. I'm sorry, I'm like rambling. And she thinks that the guy was was scared of her or something, because the guy like kind of freaked out and didn't know what happened. You find out a bunch of stuff about these three characters, because it has 3 points of view. Violet, Frank, and I don't remember her name of the lady right now. And he goes, Violet, and I said Violet. Violet, Frank, oh my god, I don't remember her name. This is crazy. Anywho, I adore how this book was written. It was like how these 3 people that had, the only thing that they had in common was the bookstore and books, get together, and how society sometimes judges people for mistakes that it has happened, they have done, for mistakes that they have done. And how, like, for example, this is one of the quotes that I like the most from the book. Perhaps it is an oddity of human nature to judge women more harshly, or maybe we expect so little of men, their transgressions don't register the same. So how we attack more of a woman instead of a man, and then we put her in a different category for their mistakes. It's such an amazing book. I love it. 5 stars. 100% recommend. If you want to know more, please let me know. Just DM me and I'll give you more of like of what's happening. We have Say You Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. Oh my god, I love this book too also. It was so beautiful. I have to say, trigger alerts is this book talks a lot about Alzheimer. So please be careful if you have a loved one suffering from that. This is gonna be very hard to read and to go through it. It's very hard, but I love the dynamics of this book. I love the long distance relationship POV in this book, and how love conquers it all at the end. It's so beautiful. One Golden Summer. From all the books from Carly Fortune, I have to say this is one of my favorites, and I read them all so far. This is the second book from, I'm gonna put here the first book, and the first book was okay. I liked it back in the time, but I like more a secondary character than the main characters, if it makes sense. And that secondary character became the main character in this book, and what a game changer. I knew why. I knew why I loved that character more than the other two. It makes total sense. So I really love this story, and the way that she, like, it's funny because she does like a conversation at the end in the audiobook, because I did it as an audiobook, like a Q&A. And she said that when she wrote the first book, she didn't have an idea that she was going to make a second book, but the fans wanted a second book with the story of the secondary character becomes the main character in this book. And they wanted it so much that she like worked it out, and then she found a way to grab some details from the first one and put like some Easter eggs here and there. She sprinkled it. It was a good book. I loved it. Sunrise on the Reaping. I already talked about this. What an amazing book. 5 stars. I recommend if you're a fan of the Hunger Games. I would recommend you to read this as the last book, even though if you do it chronologically, this should be the second book that you should be reading. But if you want more, like if you are new to the Hunger Games, seriously, go ahead with the Hunger Games. You go Catching Fire, The Mockingjay, then you go to the Ballad of Snakes and Songbirds, and then at the end do Sunrise on the Reaping. You're welcome. I'll Be You by Janelle Brown. This is a book that I just found because I was looking for books narrated by my favorite narrator, Julia Willem. And she was narrating this book. And this is about 2 sisters that they are twins, identical twins. And how one, they were both child actors, and they grow, and one goes into the dark path of what happens to child actors with the drugs and the alcohol, and the other one actually didn't want to be a child star, so separates it completely from what it was. So you will be able to see all like the different interactions and how different they are, even though they look the same. And yeah, it's a really nice thriller. I recommend this one, even though I gave it a 3 stars because the end was kind of blah. Oh my god, that was my ice maker. Change of Heart. Oh my god, that was the worst book. Please don't waste your time listening or reading it. It was stupid. No thank you, pass. Great Big Beautiful Life. I don't know why. Oh, Jess didn't recommend it me, but she told me, hey, read it and see what you think about it. Yeah, no. Great Big Beautiful Life is the newest book by Emily Henry, and I'm so disappointed. The last 2 books by Emily Henry, I've really haven't really liked them, and they haven't lived to the hype. I like that it was kind of like a romance mystery, kind of, but yeah, it didn't. I like the last phrase, the last paragraph made me cry, but overall the book, and that's why I gave it a 3 stars, but I didn't like it. I didn't even like the romance, the interaction between the main 2 characters. It was kind of toxic. The Ex, another book by Freida McFadden. Oh my God. I don't remember this book. This is crazy. And I read it and I gave it 4 stars. I have to think about this book and I'll come back to it. I'm having second thoughts of me giving it 4 stars because I really don't remember what it was about, and I'm trying to think about it. So let's go back to Once Smitten, Twice Shy. I've done the previous 2 of these trilogy, and this was a cute one, but the amount of times that he said baby after like they decided that they like each other and he was like so into it, it was cringy. I gave it 3 stars because it was okay, it made me laugh a little bit, and I liked the concept of the book, but cringy for the baby. I'm still trying to figure out what The Ex is about. Let's read the quote. Oh my God, I can't even talk. Don't get old. How do you keep from getting old? Everyone ages, so the only way to keep from getting old is to die young. I don't. Oh, I remember. Oh my God. There's so many Freida McFadden books I've read that I kind of like is a mush. But yeah, this one is a good book. Sorry. Yeah. You see, it took me a while to remember what I was like talking about. It was a little confusing because you don't know who the ex is at the beginning. There's like 3 exes, I think, at one point. But it was a good book. I think I gave stars. I think it was like me being an overgiver of stars at this point. I should have given it a 3 star, not a 4. Especially now, probably I might change my Goodreads rating because I didn't remember the book. So that means that even though I liked it at that moment and it kind of was like, oh wow, it just didn't do a big impact. We have another one by Freida McFadden. Do you remember? And this one was good. This one was about a woman that every day her mind resets, so she starts again. And she doesn't know who this man is. So the story begins that she gets engaged with this guy, and then she wakes up and the next morning she's sleeping with another man and in the same house and everything, and she discovers this man is her husband and he has passed 7 years. She doesn't remember anything. She goes to the bathroom after she reads a letter that she wrote herself saying that, who's this man, don't be scared, yada yada. And when she goes to the bathroom, she sees that she had written something on her leg, but she doesn't know what she wrote because she caught it late when she was taking a shower. But for her to have written it up in her leg so nobody could see it means that something is going on. So that's it. I'll let it be there. I really like this one. It's good. Under Lock and Key. Okay, if you're looking for a romance, a paranormal romance, this is your book. It was very smutty at some points. Let's just say the Loch Ness is involved in this, and there's some risky scenes. We did it for our book club with Jess, the traveling book club, and I really enjoyed the book. It was funny, it was good, love it. 5 stars. Then we have Babysitting with Freida McFadden, another one. This is one of her first books, and the first books of Freida McFadden, they're all about doctors and what happens in a hospital. This is Babysitting. Babysitting is all where expectant mothers go to have their babies. And it happens with a main character that it is a doctor, and you have a resident, and the resident is like, seriously, she's a headache. That girl, she has the most dumbest questions. She didn't even know how much a woman has to be dilated to have a baby. And I was like, are you kidding me? You're going to be a doctor. I know that. I'm not a doctor. Okay, it was cute, it was funny, I enjoyed it. It was a very fast book. I really like it. The Risk. So this book is for this month of June book club, for my town's book club. One of my friends, so every month each one of us have turns and we recommend a book. This month was one of my friends, and she saw this on TikTok, and I don't remember, I think it was TikTok, and she said we should read it. That seems, look, it's The Risk, the Mind series. I cannot say the other word because I don't want to be censored. But you can check it out. So it's very short book. There's 5 books, okay? And when I tell you that they are super short, they're super short. You can read them in like 2 hours on your Kindle, you know? And they trap you because you want to know what happens. And these stories, you have The Risk, you have Sidetracked, Scarlet Angel, All the Lies, and Painted All Red. They're all about this serial killer that she's looking for revenge. She's a woman serial killer, and she's looking for revenge for what happened to her 10 years ago in her hometown. And she gets involved with a CIA agent. So very interesting. Not as spicy as I thought it would be. It was like a regular spicy. It was like, if you want to put it like a spicy, seriously, I will keep it like a 2.5. It was mild. It was like, it's okay. But it was an okay book to read. I like them. I like all of them because I read them all. I needed to do it. So we're not going to talk too much about that because I just told you the concept of the whole series. We All Live Here by JOJO'S. I hope I said her last name. Okay, I never do. This is one of her newest books, and it's about these women that she gets divorced. The man moves out and he is living with the mistress that now is pregnant. They have 2 kids, and the stepdad goes and lives with her, and then the birth dad goes and appears there. So it's like a whole family situation, and the dynamics are so fun because the dad, he is an actor. He's a famous actor, and he was never involved with when she was growing up. So now he wants to get involved, and she doesn't want it anymore. And she thinks that everything, like, he's selfish and does everything wrong. And then she's suffering also through the divorce and everything, the misconception that people have that, you know, oh my gosh, she's a divorced woman, and celebrating the other person that is with her ex-husband. So I like the book. It was good. It was slow at some parts, so 3 stars. That's Not My Name by Megan Lally. This was a very weird book. It's I think it's a young adult mystery. It's about this girl that wakes up and she's in the middle of the forest and she's running and she gets to the police station and she has lost her memory, and then her dad comes and picks her up saying that that's her dad. He presents all the documents, even like a social security number and all that stuff, and takes her home. In the meanwhile, in another town, there's a girl missing, and the boyfriend is trying to look for her because they're framing him, telling him that he killed the girlfriend, so they want to know where she is. So it was an okay book. I thought it was very far-fetched by the end. So yeah, like I said, Scarlet Angel, part of the Mind F series. All the Lies 2, Painted Red, and All the Lies. So I think that's why I read so many books, because they were small, this one, so I was able to read it on my e-read on my Kindle. And all of these books are actually on Kindle Unlimited, so you can get it for free if you want to read it. And that's it for this one. I had to create a second planner, and that's the last thing I'm going to show you before we call it a day. Oh no, I'm kidding you. I have to show you something else before we finish this video. is I had to make one for my book club. So I divided it, and why I had to do a new one was because now we're getting like book club inserts from Etsy. I'll put the shop here so you guys can check it out. So even if you're doing this by yourself, you can do it. So we did it for Under Lock and Key. It has trivia, it has word search, so you get entertained with all that. A timeline shuffle, questions, and what I liked the most, it was that it has recipes. So I made that the day of our book club. We had scones, we had stew, and then we had a chocolate cake, delicious. Also, it comes with a soundtrack. So while I was reading the book, I created a soundtrack on Spotify, and I'm gonna see if I can add it here. So if you read this book Under Lock and Key, you can check it out. OMG, it was amazing. Like that, if you have never read a book and put a soundtrack on it, oh my god, you definitely should try it. And then go to YouTube if you don't have a fireplace, and put fireplace. The complete vibe is set for you, and it's such a sensory overloading of watching, like of reading. It's out of this world. I love it. So what I'm still working on this because I still have to print a bunch of stuff, so that's why it looks like this. I'm gonna put dividers. I'm waiting for the dividers to come. Go Getter has a big sale because they are closing, unfortunately. So I got dividers from them that I'm gonna use to separate all the different books. So this book we have Phantasma. No, I'm lying. We don't have Phantasma. I haven't printed. It is The Knight and the Moth. So I have to print it out, and I don't know what recipes are we doing, but I'm super excited about it. And the last thing I want to show you is something cool that we're doing with the Traveling Book Club. And it is that we're bedazzling a book. So we started this last Sunday, and then I continue it after we finish our Zoom, and I wanted to show you how beautiful it looks. So it's all of these bedazzles. So you do with this, you get your diamonds, and then you get your glue, and you do all this beautiful stuff, and it looks so gorgeous. This book, it's like we did so many different ones. Jess is gonna be posting this on the Traveling Book Club Instagram. I will put it here too also, so you guys can follow us there. We're trying to grow there. So this is it for today. If you like this video, a very bookish video today, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give it a thumbs up. And I'll see you next time on another bookish video. Bye.